So if you want to increase your energy and you don't know exactly how to, that's exactly what we're going to cover on this video right now. It's one of the biggest questions I get is how do I increase my energy? Sure, you can use coffee. Sure, you could use caffeine, energy drinks, but we're going to get into some of the deeper nuances, some of the deeper things you may want to pay attention to that could actually be zapping your energy. And then I'm going to give you exact strategies for how to increase your energy right here on this video. So it's one of the biggest questions I get is how to increase energy. Basically, what you want to look at first is you want to look at your energy killers. What are the things that may be zapping your energy? Number one, the wrong foods. You could be eating the wrong foods, and that could be zapping your energy. So fast foods, processed foods, stuff like that, that could be really stealing your energy from you. If you're not sleeping enough, if you're not getting good, deep, restful sleep every night, that's going to affect the way your day goes the next day. It's going to affect how you get up in the morning. That's going to affect your energy levels. It's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect a lot of things. Blood sugar, very important to pay attention to. If your blood sugar is going up and down throughout the day, that's going to zap your energy. You may have highs, you may have lows. And over time, energy is going to be all over the place because blood sugar is all over the place. And fourth is energy vampires. We're going to get into a little more detail exactly what those are and how to remove them. But there are other things besides food and nutrition and things like that that are zapping your energy. So if you think of yourself as a battery on your phone, you have 100%, and all of these little vampires, all these little things, the wrong food, bad sleep, blood sugar, energy vampires, they're all going to be zapping your battery. So we want to be able to charge that battery as much as possible. So what do you want to do? Step one, you want to remove bad food out of your diet. What are bad foods? Basically, bad foods are sugar. So stuff that has too much added sugar, sodas, juices, candies, because what this is going to do, it's going to put you on a blood sugar roller coaster. You're going to have highs, you're going to have lows. And basically what happens is, let's say you eat a ton of sugar, you're going to probably feel good for a couple of minutes, maybe even an hour, and then after you sort of go down in the dumps, and then you're sort of reaching for more sugar, and you're trying to keep that sugar high up. So it's one of the number one things that's going to zap you of your energy. Processed food. This is shit that has tons of chemicals, dyes, preservatives, so stuff that's in boxes, snack foods. When you go to your grocery store, all the stuff that's in the center of the aisles, that's not the greatest thing for you. You want to focus on home, like meat, eggs, fish, maybe some rice, some fruit, nuts, seeds, nut butter, stuff like that. That's going to help you out, because when you're having stuff that has it's too processed and there's too many ingredients to even pronounce, it's very confusing for your body to digest. So if you're spending all your energy digesting your food, you're going to have no energy for yourself to do the things you want to do. So cleaning up your diet is of the utmost importance. With that said, of course, fast food, shit like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, that's not even real food. That's not even real meat. If you don't believe me, go to Google and look up some of the ingredients on this stuff. It should just say beef. It should just say chicken. It should not have a list of ingredients if it's a hamburger or if it's French fries, but they do. So I've stayed away from these restaurants for a long, long time, and I would suggest that you possibly do the same, because that stuff is wreaking havoc on your energy. Not only that, it makes it harder to get in shape. It fucks with your skin. You're going to have acne, pimples, rashes, all types of stuff that you probably don't want. So I would recommend to just stay away from that. And lastly, but not least, some people are sensitive to certain foods. So you may have heard of gluten. Basically, it's the protein that's found in breads, pastas, stuff like that. Some people are sensitive to gluten, and if you're having food that you're sensitive or allergic to, it doesn't mean that your throat has to close up. You can have a food sensitivity where that can affect your energy. That can cause inflammation. Maybe it's hard for you to get lean. Maybe you're in a lot of pain. These are all signs of food sensitivities, and the top two are gluten and dairy. Gluten is found in grains, breads, pastas. Dairy can have some health benefits. It does have some protein, does have some healthy fat, but you want to look for raw, grass-fed dairy. You don't want to just get regular pasteurized dairy, because what happens is that protein is too complex for some people to digest, and that could cause a lot of skin issues. I know with me personally, that causes me to break out. It causes stomach upset. It causes quite a bit of things. So if you're canceling out some of the other things on the top, like sugar, processed food, fast food, and you're still not feeling great, maybe the next best place to look is gluten and dairy. You want to be able to improve your sleep. Sleep is so important. It's not only going to help you with recovery, it's not only going to help you recover from your workouts and build muscle faster and easier, but it's also going to affect how your day goes. If you get shitty sleep, right? Think of the last time you got shitty sleep. Maybe a couple hours, maybe you were tossing and turning all night, maybe you couldn't get to sleep on time. Then the alarm goes off in the morning. You're not feeling good. You're feeling groggy. That's putting you in a bad mood. It affects the way your entire day goes. I know days that I get better sleep, I feel a lot better. I have more energy. I think clearer. I'm more productive. And so these are the top tricks you can do if you struggle with sleep. Stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. The reason is your body needs to rest and digest that food. If you're eating right before you go to sleep, your body still needs to digest that food. So technically, your body's not able to physically shut down because it still has to digest all of this food. Screens is another thing, right? We'll be on our phone and stuff late at night. And what's going to happen is now your brain is going and now you're getting all this blue light, right? And that blue light is going to stop melatonin production. Melatonin is your natural hormone that's going to help you get to sleep. And if you're having screens, TVs, computers, all this stuff in your face right before you go to sleep, it's going to be very hard for you to fall asleep. So I would recommend that you stop screens an hour before, maybe read a book, listen to an audiobook, something like that, maybe do some stretching. Try to get more into a nighttime routine. I use blue light blockers sometimes if I have to be on the computer later at night, basically like orange tinted glasses that block out some of that blue light. Keep your room cool and dark. When your room is warm, you're going to probably be tossing and turning, very hard to get to sleep. You want to keep it as cool as possible and as dark as possible. So if you have light coming in, try to get things like blackout curtains, maybe use a sleep mask. There's lots of ways you can keep your room as dark as possible. And if you still need extra help, you want to look for things like magnesium. It's one of the most common nutrient deficiencies that there is. And I'll put a link to one of the best magnesiums that's out there right now in the description to this video. But basically, magnesium is the anti-stress mineral. It's the calm mineral. It basically soothes your body down. It also helps with muscle cramping and things like that. It also is going to provide energy. So magnesium is sort of a catalyst for enzymes in your body to digest food and to provide you with the proper energy. So magnesium may be very important, especially if you're looking to increase your energy. And also herbs in regard to sleep, like valerian, chamomile, lemon balm, passion flower. Sometimes you may go to the store, you'll find stuff like sleepy time tea or relax tea. And if you look at the ingredients, those are usually the herbs that are in those types of teas. So that can really help calm the body down, help calm the mind down right before you're getting ready for bed. So that way you can get deeper sleep. Blood sugar is a huge issue. This ties back to what we said before about not eating the proper foods. It also comes down to the types of foods you're having, as well as the timing of food that you're having. So if you just sit there and you eat a giant bowl of white rice, right? Or you eat a ton of fruit, or maybe you even drink a big thing of juice, and you're not having activity around that, what happens is your blood sugar is going to go up, insulin's going to come up to try to counteract it, and then you're going to crash. So I would recommend the best time if you're going to have more carbohydrates, things that have sugar in them, things that have carbs, rice, stuff like that, fruit. Do it around the time you have activity, whether you're walking, you're running, you're biking, you're going to the gym, you're working out. What I personally do is I do maybe a little bit of fruit, or sometimes I'm fully fasted before I work out, and then right after I'll have white rice, I'll have protein in there. Maybe a little after I'll have some fruit. I try to time it around the time of my workout. That way my energy levels stay as high as possible. Types of food, this ties back into if you have food sensitivities, gluten, dairy, what I would recommend is if you're on shore, you don't need to run and go get testing. What I would say, maybe try a week without that stuff and see how you feel. And if you feel better and you feel like you have less inflammation in your gut, you feel a little cleaner, you feel leaner, those are all signs that you may have been sensitive to those foods. So maybe take them out for 7 days, 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, and then see what happens. After they're completely out, what happens when you bring those things back in? Do you feel worse? Do you get breakouts? Do you have more joint pain? Any of those symptoms are a definite sign that you're sensitive to those types of foods. And the number one strategy I've used, not only for energy, productivity, focus, performance, getting lean, building muscle easier, is fasting. The reason is, if you think of your body like a gas tank, you're constantly filling up your gas tank, fill, and then guess what? Once it's filled up and you keep eating, you overflow. And that's going to be stored as fat. It's going to affect the way your blood sugar is, which in turn is going to affect the way you feel and how your energy is. And so what happens is when you fast, it's a way to run down that gas tank a little bit. And as you run down that gas tank, you can then have more room to bring in more food. I've done it for almost 5 years now, intermittent fasting almost every single day. I have tips and strategies for that. If you want to know more about that, I will make a more in-depth video. I have some other videos on my channel going more into depth about fasting. But intermittent fasting can be huge because what that will do over time as well, it makes you more sensitive to insulin. Insulin is basically anytime you have a lot of carbs coming in, insulin is going to spike. Now, over time, when that happens too often, your body it's not sensitive to insulin anymore and it doesn't do the correct job. Over time, as you fast, it gets your cells are more receptive to insulin. So basically what that means is you're able to get away with still eating carbohydrates without them impacting the way you feel, without them impacting your energy levels, because what happens is now your blood sugar is more stable when you have those things. You're not skyrocketing it and then dropping it. So it's going to help over the long term. And we get to this, which is extremely, extremely important. Basically, you want to remove any energy drains. So not only are you looking at things like food and sleep and blood sugar, you want to look at other things that maybe you have overlooked that could be zapping your energy. This could come down to people. Maybe you have toxic friends in your life, or acquaintances, or certain situations in your life that are like pulling. So when we started this video, we talked about, think of your energy as a phone battery, right? And as you put all these apps on the phone and you're running through and all these things are open, that battery gets drained throughout the day. This is what these situations are going to do to you. If you're around toxic people, people that don't have good goals and aspirations, they're not trying to grow, they're not trying to improve, they're not trying to get better. If they're always complaining or something always bad is happening in their life, get those people out of your life, because that negative mindset is going to affect you. It's going to affect how you perform. It's going to affect how you feel. And that's going to zap your energy on an emotional level, a mental level, and ultimately a physical level. In regard to situations and relationships, maybe there's a toxic dynamic at your job. Maybe if you're going to school, there's a toxic dynamic with something happening at school. Try to remove yourself from any situations that are not helping you get closer to your goal. It's the number one thing that's going to help you out. And also, in regard to relationships, I know that's a whole topic for a whole different video, but if the easiest way to gauge relationships in your life is this relationship adding to your life, or is it taking away? Is it making you more stressed, or is it making you more happy and energetic? And the number one way you can gauge this in regard to people, situations, relationships is when you're around those people, do you feel better? Do you feel more energy? Some people are going to be energy givers, and some people are going to be energy takers, energy vampires. If you feel more drained after dealing with certain people, get them out of your life because they're just going to keep zapping your battery and you're draining all your energy on negativity, which you do not need to do. And of course, environments. If you're in negative or toxic environments, you want to remove yourself from that. So if you're around a bunch of people and their only concern is partying and drinking and just freaking joking around, get away from it, especially if you're trying to self improve, especially if you're trying to develop yourself, especially if you're trying to become better. Start getting around groups of people and communities of like minded guys that are wanting to improve, that are wanting to get better, because you're going to be like the 5 people you hang out with most. You probably have heard that before. You are like the 5 people you are closest to. So if you're hanging out with a bunch of losers all the time, you're probably going to be a loser. If you're hanging out with a bunch of winners all the time, you are more than likely going to be a winner. So be around circles that want to talk about growth, success, making more money, improving your health, improving your fitness, your appearance. That's where you want to focus your energy. With that said, I'm Nick with the Upgraded Man Project. You could click some of the links in the description. I'll put the magnesium that I use down there, as well as some other resources. And if you have any questions at all or comments, throw them in the comments below. And also let me know. This is a new style of video I'm going to be trying. And let me know, does this style of video help you out? Would you like to see more videos like this? If so, what's some of your concerns or problems or challenges that you have that you need help with? I'm here to help you out. With that said, I'll see you on the very next video.